Good evening and welcome to the November 22nd edition of the Bull Market Watch, where we are going over the cryptocurrencies one at a time throughout all of Poloniex's listings and doing a spreadsheet to find out when the bull market is actually kicking in. So let me go over here and click on Start, bring us over to the main page. We've got a little different layout here today. I've moved things around a little bit and added in a few new features. So down along the bottom corner we have Bitcoin prices, and so we can always keep an eye on the price of Bitcoin while we're looking at other charts. Then we have Professor Wally, who has been the stream boss for quite a long time. He was the first stream boss and he remains the stream boss because he's chipped in some super chats to help support this channel, and that is fantastic. If you'd like to knock Professor Wally out of the top spot, you just add in a super chat or give a tip through the link down below the video, and you'll see this tip jar get filled up when you do that. The other way to knock him down some points is to subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't done that already, please do. Hey AOL Chandra, hello from Canada over to India. Good to see you here. And over on the side here we have the significant trades right along the side, and that'll fill up as those trades come through. Then we've got the chat box up along the top here in the corner. Then a little bit just up in the top corner here I've got the temperature where I am, so it's -2 degrees Celsius outside. We've got the time going, and then we've got the live Bitcoin price feed here, so we'll see that change as time goes along. And we've got the live Ethereum prices here. And then over in the top corner, we've got how many people are viewing from YouTube and from Twitch. And finally, we've got the Twitter stream or Twitter account address here up in the corner. So there's more space dedicated to the chart now. So hopefully this is easier to see, cleaner to watch, and I hope you guys appreciate the changes. Hope it's good stuff. Now, yesterday we went through all of the cryptos and we were seeing that it's a whole new world out there after these lows have come in. Most of the old stuff we were working on here, it just doesn't apply because we've come down to new bottom formations on many of them. And because we've come down crashing so hard to some new bottom formations, it's going to take a while for the simple trading plan to kick out some buy signals, because we're waiting for the exponential moving averages to cross over using a 12-hour time frame, 12-hour bars, and that's going to take some time for that to mature and show up. So we'll talk about those as time goes along, but I marked out yesterday's day as a separate column here, and you see that we had a whole bunch of them that were marked as alerts, and so we're going to go through now and see if those alerts actually turned into trade signals. And I don't have the replay link there. I will put that up so that you can watch yesterday's video. It's got some really good stuff in there, really different trading approach. And when the markets change, you've got to change your approach. So you can't trade a trend trading strategy when the markets are choppy and going sideways. It just doesn't work. You can't buy low and sell high when the markets are going down, 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 down. It just doesn't work. So when the markets have a specific style to them, there's a specific style of trading to do. And now that we've had this massive crash in Bitcoin and all of the alts have also come down to make new lows, then what I was doing is zooming in on them and taking a closer time frame look. So we're looking here at the, what is this, 4-hour bars. Then we're looking at the 1-hour bars, and we're looking for bottom formations now in very short time frame. And these are higher risk trades because you're trying to pick the bottom basically. And often, if this downtrend is not finished yet, if Bitcoin is going to crack lower, then all of these alts are going to give us even newer lows. And buying in on these things right now would be, it is higher risk. So we were watching yesterday, we're looking at Ardor. It said it made a new low. And because it made a brand new low, let's zoom right out, and it was lower than the August and September lows, then it gets a whole new category, and we have to wait for it to mature and make a bigger bottom formation. And there were some of them, sorry about this time frame. Some of these coins, they went to new lows, but they stayed relatively above the August, September, and October lows that we've already had. And those are much more bullish, and we could look at some alerts on those price charts. So we'll go through. This is still making a new bottom, and it's not an alert. It's not anything I can act on from this one little bounce here. It's got to mature a little bit and give us some ranges to work with. So this one will stay neutral in the monitoring as we're following up. Now, BAT and Bancorn Network, BNT, both gave us alerts. So let's go take a look at those ones. Basic attention token. Awesome. We've got a couple people on Twitch, and if you haven't already, we had a couple people on Twitch. Say hello. I don't have very many people following on Twitch yet, and we got a few people on Facebook, but I didn't email out that this was going to be happening, so this is great to see you guys along. Basic attention token. We were looking at this one yesterday, and this was the formation, and we were saying it was an alert. And sure enough, it's taken off. So this is a good signal, and we did nail it. We are talking about this formation here, and this is the consolidation. And now, if you've been into this trade, then it's important to get your stop loss up above your entry point to protect that money. So I'm going to mark this as a green. And I want to add a new column. Add another new column. Add 3 new columns. And 3 more. Okay, 1 more. This way, I can slide this over so that I'm closer to the details here. Let me reset that. Then we go on to Bancorn Network. And this one we've got to go to Binance so that we look at BNT with enough. Wow, look at that huge candle. So this huge pump of a candle and then the prices pull back is actually an interesting swing trading entry point, and it is very high risk. So if you were to be entering on a swing trade like that, you would really want to have your stop close. The trouble is that prices have gone below the lows from September. And so then it's not as comfortable. If they had stayed above these levels, that would be much more comfortable. But because they've gone down below those levels, it's even a higher risk trade. So I can't give it a buy signal, but I will leave it as an alert. And then Bitcoin Cash, I'm going to still have to update that till we get those next 2 forks of Bitcoin Cash in the chart. BCN. Hey Khan, good to have you along. So here we are looking at BCN, 1 month view. And for me, it is an alert. If it breaks above these levels here, I think it's going to be going higher yet. I would like to take a look at the order books over in Poloniex, bring that chart up in the exchange, and drag it over. So here we're looking at BCN. And when I draw this down, what I want to look for is what kind of buy and sell orders do they have. Like we got 26, 55 Bitcoin of buy orders below the market, and above the market we've got sell orders all the way up. So it's less bullish to me when I look at this kind of resistance all the way up. There's a lot of buying that has to go into this market to be able to get it up to where there's less of a market. I think that once it starts going, this is really liquid. Like you can buy in with a 20 Bitcoin position, and within 2 Satoshi down, you could sell out of your 20 20 Bitcoin position. So this is interesting, and I like Dogecoin for that reason too. But I can't give it if I gave it an alert last time, I'm going to remove that just because of the amount of liquidity in there. Now, Bitcoin was marked as an alert in the charts last time. So if I go to Bitfinex, Bitcoin, it's not looking like an alert. It's too close to this bottom all the way along. It's not giving us a reversal. It would have to be breaking above these levels, at least these levels here, before it could turn into an alert. It has to be pushing up against those levels. It's actually a near fail the way it is right now, because we have another descending wedge triangle. Descending wedge triangle. And we know what happened with the bigger descending wedge triangle. It wasn't done going down yet. So that's actually a near fail in our color codes. BitShares. All right, we've got lower lows, and it's given some strength here, but it really responds to Bitcoin's price. So if Bitcoin goes down, this is going to be coming down, and it hasn't given me the nice enough 1, 2, 3 bottom formation really. You know, it certainly was a buy. If you had bought here, you'd have been in the profit, but it hasn't given me that turnaround formation yet to take a position in this, or to make it an alert, not even on that time frame. So I'm going to remove the alert that was there yesterday and just leave it as blank. And then we'll go on to Burst coin. Burst broke down below the lows from recently. So it's starting all over again with a whole new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation hunt here now. So we have the number 1 point. It could be the number 2 point, but it has to come back and retest the number 1 and then go back up and pass the number 2 point. So this one doesn't get any alert. It's just we have to keep watching it. Clam, I put an alert and a couple asterisks there. So it's failed its alert now, even though it was looking like it was having a bunch of buying going on. Why do I not see that there? Okay. This is what I was looking at, where we were seeing these buy candles, and then prices have come up from there. So it's I don't like it. It's not enough of a bottom yet. It has to come back down and retest that, and then make some headway at least past these levels, maybe even these levels, before it's looking good. So I'll have to leave that one blank as well, even though it was as an alert yesterday. Civic coin. Civic coin we had as an alert because of this movement here, where it made a bottom, a huge candle upwards, and it pulled all the way back here yesterday. Now it's just gone along lazy. So I would still give it an alert if it's breaking above these levels. Then this would be something to pay attention to. And that's the 1730 level. So it has to break above that level. Decreed. Made a bottom. It's pulled up a little bit. And the great thing is that it's staying pretty much right at these old levels. So any kind of strength above here, the 00599 would be a good place. We'll check that out. We'll get a little bit more specific here. That was for, whoops, I put that in dash and it should have been, so I skipped dash. Let's go back to dash. Dash is looking not too bad. It stayed above these levels, and it's given a bit of strength here now. I would like to see it retrace back before bouncing up higher. And if it doesn't, then it's got to bounce off this and retest it before it can be a buy signal, really. 0263. We'll see how these turn out when we get some numbers on them here. Digibyte. ABC Digibyte. Not so good. It made some lows and we were looking at it yesterday, and now it's made new lows. And worse, it's gone below this support from before, and it's stretching way back to April. So it needs more matured prices, and I would say probably nothing until above 334. 1 2 3 4 5 3 3 4. Dogecoin actually made a bottom formation and has started up on a little bit of a move here. Zoom into the 1 week view, and this is a buy signal on this breakout here, and it's holding itself well. Of course, Dogecoin was the only one taking off last time before everything else did. It made a huge move and then pulled all the way back here, so don't know what's coming up for Doge next. But it's still green. It was the only one marked as, one of the only ones maybe, that was marked as a buy signal, and it remains. EOS was neutral last time. Good evening, Andrew. Good to see you here. There's only a few of us diehards on this. The drop of altcoin prices has really demoralized everybody, and with good reason too, because most of the stuff you cannot go short in it. You can only buy low and sell high. So you buy it and you don't sell out now, it's worth much less, and that is demoralizing. And it's really important, no matter what, to keep watching because of what happened last December, where things went down low and then they blasted right off out of that. And so I want to keep paying attention. And there's nothing doing here. This was really crazy, where it's up and then down and then up and then down. It's nothing tradable. It certainly would be wrecking a lot of traders who tried to jump in on any of this stuff. So this one has to stand. We have to stand down and leave it neutral on that again. Ethereum Classic was a fail last time. It's been, yeah, still remains a fail for sure. Zoom right in on it, and it's still looking weak, even though it's come down and it's not looking like anything. So leave that as a neutral and nothing to do there. Ethereum was actually marked as an alert because it had come down, but it had held some of these prices. Now it's broken down lower, but it's still holding above the lows from September. So it's still within a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, where we have the number 1 point here, the number 2 point here, and this is our new number 3 point, where it's coming down to retest the recent lows, and it's failing. It's not breaking them. So Bitcoin has come down enormously, where Litecoin has only come down a very small amount, relative, and that is important. We see a lot of capitulation candles here. It could go lower, but this is looking pretty good for hitting a bottom and staying there, resisting. If it breaks below that, it's clear sailing for a while. Clear sailing. There's nothing to support it below that until, well, these levels. And then right down to project inception. So it's pretty precarious spot. We'll see how that one turns out. And so I can't have it as an alert now. Factum was still a buy, and it's just straight up, and the moving averages haven't near crossed over. It hasn't come near it at all. But yesterday I was watching this, and I was saying that it's probably topping out and going to be coming down. And you can see this red line here. I was talking about the support and resistance, but then today it faded off a little bit there, and then it blasted right through this. And I actually thought, you know what, if I'm going to think this is topping out, then I should act on that. And I went short here. I took on a short position, and it was a little bit profitable for a bit. And then it was coming up to these prices again. I thought, that's not looking good. There was a big wall, a big sell wall here above the market. And I thought, I'm just going to close my position and take my little loss that I had. And then there was a whole bunch of buying that went on that actually ate up that big wall, and prices went up, made a double top here. And whoops, what I want to do is bring up the indicators and see what's going on here now. So we have double top and we have descending wedge, a descending RSI. So we have a divergence there. We have a divergence, or a stronger volume here as prices were coming up, and then as they hit this the second time, there's even weaker volume going on. So I don't know this, if it breaks higher, it's going to keep going for a bit more, but it's really looking like it's trying to top. And these changes in the RSI and the lower volume here on the second top are signals that I've seen before in many different places. What do we got there? A liquidated short, liquidated longs. So we can see on the side right here beside that this is the live Bitcoin prices that are always going to be showing as I'm doing the rest of the video. So we can see Bitcoin prices are at 4,447, and we got some more liquidated longs going down as prices are crashing in Bitcoin right this moment. So what will that do to Factom prices? Blow it up higher? What will that do to Doge prices? Make it blow higher? Let me refresh this, because 1 minute view is not showing in the background Bitcoin going down. So I'll refresh this page and see if Bitcoin comes up loaded differently. It is loaded a bit differently. It's coming down further. So we'll see what's going on there. Back to Factom. Very interesting. Zoom into the 5 minute bars. We see Bitcoin is dropping significantly, and right now Factom is weakening off just a little bit. At any rate, it's still a buy, but I got the asterisks in there. I was going short. I certainly have already sold the 100 Factom that I did have. I think that that's as high as it's going to go for now, and it really, healthy-wise, should retrace. But if it does break above this, it's going to keep going, because we have an ascending wedge triangle here, opposite to what we saw in Bitcoin when it crashed. And yesterday we pulled up a couple examples of ascending wedge triangles in the Bitcoin uptrend from the past. And so if this breaks higher, it's going to keep going. It's going to go significantly, and it's already gone, crazy straight up. That's a phenomenal chart. From 7,000 to almost 20,000. It's tripled in price. Crazy. Wonderful. So I made a good profit on that, but I've already sold out. If it keeps going higher, I'm not going to make more. Hey, Andrea, good to see you here. Probably go to 36 or 39. Wow, that would be stupendous. Let me zoom out to the 3-month view so we get some historical charts in here. Yeah, it was right at these historical levels. I was saying that, oh, it should pause here. And you're saying it'll come up and test these levels. 39. So then we're coming right up to these old levels here. And it may. You can see what it did in the past here. This is a trend that went on for quite a while and really blasted up and then up and up and up. So I expect maybe if it's going to do that, then along the way up, we're going to see some of these candles to the downside. So it's coming up, then it crashes down, then it goes up and crashes down. So following the market with buy orders way down where people would put their stop loss orders is probably a prudent strategy. And I've watched this in the past and said, when the next bull market is coming up, I'm going to do that. I'm going to trail like a reverse popcorn trading strategy. Lots of volume coming in there. Next, we have game credits. And if I zoom into the 1 week view on this, It's actually making a nice looking bottom formation. I'm going to mark that as an alert. And I don't think this has had alert status in a long time. Gas, what are you doing? So we got a few people joined up. I appreciate seeing you guys here. We're growing the channel and getting more people coming back regular because we're doing this every day. I'm certain this will pick up when the bull market is actually here, and this is a lot more fun to be watching and getting some information on. Now we're just sort of analyzing as it's going down. Is this bottom? Is this bottom? Is this bottom? When moon? When moon? Anyway, there's nothing here to look at. There's no bottom formation at all forming up. And if I go to the 3-month view and pull it back, oh, we are right at this old historical level. So that gives it a lot more credence and a lot more, I want to pay attention to it then more because it's on these bottoms. And if it was to break above this level, that could be a small entry risk to go in there. But if Bitcoin's going to fade off from here, I think everything is going to be taken down another step. So gas, I will make it an alert. It is that close, and it meets those new requirements of holding above the September-October lows. Well, here's one, took right off. So we were marked in here yesterday. Must have been right near this time frame here. Since we are at 12, saying, I can't see the time there, 15, 16, 17, 15, 16, 17. So it might have been already breaking above these levels, but it turned into a buy according to what we were looking for in this time frame. And since it stayed above these levels that it made in the past, that would have been a buy. And then, of course, if you did buy, now you would have your stop loss just above your entry, as close as you could get it to your entry to give the market room to go, because you know it. Everybody's got their stop losses just below this support and resistance right there. There's some more longs getting liquidated as Bitcoin's going down. We can see along the side here. That chart isn't pulling up quite properly, but it's there. And maybe tomorrow that Bitcoin wisdom chart that is in the corner will look a little better. At any rate, this one is a buy signal in our tracking here. We'll see how that turns out. Now, close stop on that one, maybe even a manual stop where you're watching it. If it breaks above these levels, then the stop below here is more comfortable. But with Bitcoin sinking there, it's not making me feel too good. What's our next market? Hunter Coin. Hunter Coin, then Kyber Network. Hunter Coin. I appreciate all the thumbs up. BC not going to hit 1,000 anytime soon. Going to buy VeChain when BC hits 1,000. I don't know. Hello, Gandhi. Hello, Khan. Domino, good to see you here. Crypto Kibo, good to see you here. Mind checking CLO again. I like to. Let's go and see it. I go over these Cloak. Oh, Callisto. And then you brought up the, sent a link there. And this is Callisto. Callisto Exchange. CLO. Wow, look at that. It is trading significantly above. It's not just staying level with, but it's still above. So this is showing a real divergence from the rest of the market. And I don't know if I can draw lines on this, but you can see the ticker here. It's a tricky one. I would read up on the project a little bit, but I like that it's staying supporting above these levels And so this is a tiny little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, just at the same time that we're looking at time frame, like we're looking at all these other ones in this super small time frame, 1, 2, 3 bottom. And yes, it would be a buy signal if it's breaking above that, and especially if it's breaking above these levels. But again, you've got to use the 2 risk control rules. Rule number 2 says you've got to add on to your trade without exception when it's correct. Add on correctly without exception. And adding on correctly is a trick. It takes some study. And so rule number 2 says you've got to add on to the trade. That means you cannot put all your money onto the trade to begin with. If you got $100, then you can only put on, say, $30, $40. And then when you're proven correct and the prices consolidate a bit, you can add on again. And then you've got your full position on. Then the rule number 1 is assume you are wrong unless the market proves you correct. So as soon as I put on my 40 of my $100 on here, I'm watching it. I'm looking, and if it doesn't prove me correct in the first hour, maybe, I take that trade off. I really want to wait till I see the right moment to put my trade on, and then use those risk control rules. And you can pretty much, well, there we go. You can pretty much flip a coin. Heads, I go long, tails, I go short. And use rule number 1 and 2, and over time, statistically, you'll probably end up making money. So this is on a downtrend. I would want to have this downtrend line broken, and if prices started going up from here, it would break that downtrend line. But it is interesting because it is showing strength above and holding above these levels so much compared to all the other cryptos. I appreciate you bringing that one out. I never looked at that chart before. So it seems Bitcoin's next move is down to 34.36. Oh, that's terrible sounding and might be true. I gotta go look. Bitfinex. Bitcoin. Oh yeah, this is a nasty descending wedge triangle, isn't it? And I've already got it marked out as such. And it's not giving us a divergence in the RSI to indicate that there's something under the hood building up here. We do not have on balance positive volume. It's showing negative, and that's not good. So seeing this on balance volume indicator is also not looking good. And how many people in the chat here? We've got 14 people. Is that right? Okay, one says 9 and the other thing says 14. But how many people are prepared to go short Bitcoin? Gandhi, are you prepared to go short? Do you have trading all ready to go short on this breakdown below? How about anybody else? From all the people watching, put a yes in the chat box if you are prepared. Better not now. Anyone else? No, like, do you have preparation? Do you have an exchange? Are you trading on an exchange where you can actually go short? Domino, you're holding. Anyone else? Are you holding, or are you prepared to go short on this chart formation? Because really, if we are traders, then we are not here because of cryptocurrency is going to be changing the world. And we're not here to just buy low and sell high. We're here to trade to make money. So Henry, you're just holding as well. And AOL Chandra is just holding. Adriana, capitulation could be on its way, that's for sure. This is certainly into demoralization zone. Capitulation would be a very big, deep candle downwards, and I'm not hoping for it. I am not prepared to go short. I don't have any funds. I do have funds over at Bitfinex, and I could go short over there. I never considered it. I was always just looking for the bottom formation. Yeah, we're here to make money and increase our Bitcoin holdings for the long-term future, because the future is going to show us some huge moves after this capitulation low. Just like it did in September of 2015. In the summer of 2015, it was sideways all year. It was a real pain in the butt. And then it made a huge deep dip down. It actually hit like $160 per Bitcoin. And then that came right back up, and that was the beginning of the massive trend from September 2015 all the way to December of 2017. It was a long upward trend. So, that's all well and good, but if this is going to go down and we can make money by trading it going down, then that's what we're here to do, is to observe these chart patterns and take the action that makes you money when we see a pattern. And it doesn't matter if it's up or down or sideways or whatever. When we see the pattern that we can predict it's going to go somewhere, we have to take action on that. Even if it's just paper trading, even if you just say in your mind, yeah, it's going to go down, and you don't actually take any action on it, if you've written it down, say, I recognize it's going to be going down, I think it's going to go down to this much. And if it turns out you're correct, this is helping build neurons in your brain that are going to give you confidence next time. So I did call this level a long time ago, and I didn't trade for it. But I did say that if it's going to break, it's going to be coming down to these levels, and it may go down to the $2,500 level over the next while. So I don't want it to. I don't like that idea. And I did not get prepared to go short. So when I'm saying this and I'm asking, are you guys prepared to go short? I'm having a conversation with myself at the same time. The descending wedge triangle looks like daily descending triangle. So a massive downtrend is coming. Actually, we're in that. I'm not a trader in that sense. Buying the dips. Hope for cryptos to take over. Buying the dips. Well, that's what we're hunting for here, isn't it? And buying the dips is sort of against the simple trading plan's rules, because we're waiting for the trend to change direction. And right now, it has not. And then to be zooming in on the 1 week bars, so we're looking at the 1 hour bars and we're looking at the 15-minute bars, then we're getting into some pretty crazy trading that's not to do with the trend having changed direction. This is really getting down into gambling to be buying the dips like this. So if you have a dollar cost averaging strategy and you've got a job and you're making money and you're taking $200 per paycheck and you're putting it into cryptos no matter what, and you're just going to keep putting that $200 in, it certainly wouldn't have been a good strategy to put $200 as I did. I put $1,000 in October the 26th. Now it's probably worth $700. It's lost 30% of its value. And it would have been a better idea for me to go and buy a stable coin so that the money is available but protected from this downtrend. Now Bitcoin is right down, double bottom here. A break below this and we're going to go sailing. It's going to go down much stronger. So let's continue on the spreadsheet. For me, this spreadsheet is the long-term familiarity with everything that's going on, day by day by day by day, really paying attention, because I made so much money last bull run that I want to make that money again. I want to be prepared, and I want to make it better than I did last time, including going short when it's appropriate, and I did not go short here. Now I'm watching it. Even if I don't go short, I'm paper trading it, I'm calling it, I'm looking at it, I'm getting familiar with it, and I'm practicing short trades. In fact, I did a short trade in Factum today and was a small loss by the time I got out. Hunter coin. Weekly and monthly are seriously bearish. Seriously. Indeed they are. It's a bargain. BOGO, buy one, get one crypto Black Friday. Yes, indeed. That's a good one. Black Bitcoin Friday. Yes, it is. I don't even know what's going on in the stock market. I haven't paid attention since one broker closed. Bitcoin minus 80%. Oh yeah, probably. What was the high? $19,200 or something, and now we're down to 4,000. So 19, say 20, we're down to 75% down from the top here for sure. And many of the other altcoins are down 90%, 90 odd percent. Hunter coin now, just to go on with the rest of the study and get this detail done. So Hunter coin was 10,000 Satoshi. Now it's 400. So that is 5,000, 2,500 would be 75%. It's crazy. Crazy. And then we're seeing these bottom formations flattening out. They were really attractive all the way through September, October, August, September, October. They were all looking so good. And Bitcoin was building up. It was looking fantastic. And now we've taken this massive crash. Hopefully, we're at as low as we can go for these. But this is not a buy signal. And I had it as an alert, but I'll take that alert off for today. Kyber Network token, I wouldn't say it's a buy. And we have to go over to Binance and take a look at that. Kyber. And while we're here, I'm going to take a look at Link. It's not part of the normal. Okay, this is, yeah, nothing to do here. It's down below that support from before. Zoom into the 3-day, and that's actually not looking too bad, eh? This is an ascending wedge triangle, I gotta say. That's an ascending wedge triangle, and a risk-aware person could go long on the break above this and be ready to get out if it turns around and starts coming down at all. So you really have to chase this price. If you do buy into something like this, chase that price with your stop loss right up close. Paper trading is just to write it down on a piece of paper, AOL Chandra. So I would say on my piece of paper, I say Bitcoin. I'd say I am short at, like now it's 4,369, and I just pretend. So paper trading is trading on paper as though you really did it, but you're just pretending. And it's a really good way to practice trading without any risk. You can go and find paper trading services or websites that will let you do paper trading in a spreadsheet inside their website, so that you type your trade in and they give you a pretend $10,000 or something like that, and you paper trade, you practice trading. So Kyber Network token, nothing going on there, but I'm going to put that as an alert. And with asterisks, because it's not even matching our other alerts where we're watching for things that have held above September, October, November lows. And now we'll go back to Poloniex and look at library credits. You want more bargain? You want things to go lower so that you get even better bargains? What I'm doing is I'm looking to margin trade. So I'm going to keep all the things that I have and use that as margin in Poloniex. So I'm margin shorting, I'm margin long, and we'll see how that turns out. It's worked out pretty good the last little bit. I've made some, I don't know, 12 or 18% profit recently. And so I've got more Bitcoin, but of course the price of Bitcoin has gone down, so the overall US dollar value of my account has gone down. Library credits, you've failed down to new lows and even lower than before. So I got to wait for you to do a big turnaround. I can't do anything with library credits at all in that chart pattern. Loom. Okay, you're above the lows from September. That's pretty good. So then when we zoom in on this, does it give us a chart turnaround? If it broke above these levels, we do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in like a 3 or 4 day time frame. So it's very short time frame. It hasn't given even enough time for this downtrend line to be broken by much, if at all. So, but this is it's the same strategy. We got the break of the downtrend line. We've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then on this time frame, we would wait for this moving average to cross over. It's a 1 hour time frame, and Lots of these setups happen at the very bottom, and then we go into a more mature, larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. They nest inside each other. So we do have an RSI that's looking good, but we also have not so good looking volume here. We've had greater vol and less volume. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on this one. Loom, I will mark it as an alert, just like I did yesterday. Now the next one, Lisk, I did not mark it as an alert, and Litecoin, I did not mark it as an alert. Lisk, however, broke above this level. So now I'm going to mark it as an alert if it goes above this 0000379. 1, 2, 3, 37.9. And then I'll mark this as an alert. So now we have a specific thing to look back to, not just the color code. And I should have done that with more of these. Litecoin. 3 to 4 week dump before any pumps. Actually, one of my subscribers emailed me and replied back saying that Bitcoin is going to keep going down until mid-December. And right in mid-December, after the hedge funds have announced their profitability, then they'll be closing all their short positions. He figures the hedge funds are the ones going short on this and driving it down. They see the chart pattern. They know what's going on, and they've got the dollars to do it. And so they are shorting this, driving the prices down. And then in the middle of December, because of their financial schedules, they will stop doing these shorts and turn around and start going long. So we'll see. That's one theory. This chart has a lot of lines on it. So we're seeing this consolidation channel. Then we're seeing another one here. But it didn't manifest anywhere. In fact, it's reset this whole triangle to a different shape of triangle, and it's looking weak out of this triangle. A skewer down there would be a short. This would be another one to go short on. And if we zoom right back out, it's at pretty critical levels, and it's been lower before. There's nothing to stop it from going down there. If it's breaking these levels, it's going down there. It's going down to the 003 levels again. So that's not nice to see. But come on now. But it's real. And this is what we want to be as a trader. We don't want to be biased to one side of the market or the other. We want to look at what is the line of least resistance. The line of least resistance is down right now. There's a lot more resistance for it to go up. It tries, but it fails. It tries, but it fails. It just hasn't got the power to go up. The bulls just don't have it. So the line of least resistance right now is down, which means that this is a shorting opportunity below these levels. So if it does crack below these levels, there's nothing to hold it up. It's going to be going down considerably further. Of course, then it broke these levels before. Way back here, it had a bunch of selling, and then it blasted right off. So this is sort of why I'm doing these things every day and tracking it, monitoring it, and doing the spreadsheet, because I want to be prepared. If it is going to be blasting off, then I want to go long. I want to use a leverage trade to the long side and, you know, make the money one way or the other. Made safe. Dump XRP and buy it back under 0.25. XRP, we'll get to that one. Made safe coin. I was looking at this as an ascending wedge triangle yesterday, and then it did a right angle. It did an absolute drop right after that. So it just, on the 1 minute bar, this was a huge candle to the downside. It was floating along, and then bam, in no time, it just cracked. And so I was definitely wrong about this ascending wedge triangle, and I thought this was going to be blasting higher. It's pulled back. And now what's it doing? Making a larger ascending wedge triangle again. So this takes me out in speculation until it's choosing one way or the other. It would actually be good if it came back down to, let's zoom back out to the 1 month view. If it came back down into prior support and resistance and then made a formation, that would be the most enticing place to be getting in. So if from here it were to drop and make a bottom formation off of this, then that would be the most enticing place to be seeking an entry into that market after it does this. Because it's made such a big move all the way up, that's my thinking. On the other hand, this is a nice ascending parallel channel. And these parallel channels are amazing how often they work. It hit the top of the parallel channel and it came back. So I'd be looking exactly what I'm saying, but maybe at a sooner time frame so that it stays within this parallel channel. Just extend this out. I can't do it properly. I've got to zoom back. Extend this out and see it come back into this parallel channel and hit off the bottom of this parallel channel. That could be a buy signal. And we saw Factum do that, where it just went sideways into this parallel channel. And when it hit the side of this parallel channel, it bounced up like it hit off something solid. So it may be that that would be what's going to go on in this. At any rate, it would be, it's making a top formation here. And what's the RSI saying? An on-balance volume is still looking pretty good. It's not looking, well, just for record's sake, we've got lower highs on that and higher highs on this. So that is a divergence in the RSI. Bitcoin looks like it is cracking down to new lows there. What's going on over here? Over on the side here. That's not showing up very well. I'll have to find a different chart to go in there so that we can keep Bitcoin live prices actually showing up. Bitcoin had made new lows. Every single coin will make new lows. Yep, it may be. On to Mana coin. This one made some pretty good gains because they are having a land sale inside Decentraland. And I think that this, in spite of all of the negative things going on, this has the chance to pump just because people want to buy as much of it as they can so that they can buy the land that they're looking for inside Decentraland. I think that Decentraland is going to be something pretty cool in the long term, because you can create something that's a money maker in there, provide a service, and people will pay you coin inside that land to play and do whatever they're doing in there. We'll see how that turns out in the long term. I think it's pretty amazing. So I have some of this, and I don't mind sitting on this. It's such a cheap price right now. We'll see how that goes over the long term. But Bitcoin is definitely breaking down to new lows here, we can see. And as for a price, there's no buy on this. There's it was already a buy. We had already purchased into it, and it's still staying a buy. It didn't crack down to tell us to get out. The moving averages haven't crossed over. And Navcoin we had marked as an alert. Zoom in on this, the 1 month view. It was an alert because the double bottom, and it was showing some strength here. And here's the alert spoiler, is that it come back. Come back down and then break above those levels. So we'll see how that turns out. It's actually not looking too good as an alert now that it's down to these levels. So what level is that? Put this in there. 46.27. 46.27. Namecoin. I can't imagine it's got a signal for us. Wow. Zoom out. Pull back. It's actually making a potential bottom formation there. Even in this longer term view, it's hit twice off this. It's showing a little tick of strength as Bitcoin is coming down. We've got the pre-pump candles going on. And so it really could be A break above these levels will mark it as a paper trading buy signal, 000101. 123101. We'll see how that turns out for Namecoin. NXT was neutral. Let's see what it's doing now. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I see the indicator up along the top here is still saying 9, but over on the the YouTube channel, I see 15 watching now. So give that a thumbs up. That's your fee for watching. And if you make money off of this somehow, I don't know, maybe you see something that we're talking about going short, then I appreciate a tip to the channel afterwards. This is not a buy signal. It's right down to historical lows, and it needs to mature this bottom formation. So nothing going on with NXT. Let's take a look at OMG. NXT, OMG. Down to new lows, skewered down, so that cancels out whatever we might have been saying yesterday. It would have to break above these levels on a, that's a risky entry over a 3 or 4 day bottom formation, looking at the 1 hour bars. So the moving average would have to cross over. Not anticipating it, but I'll mark those numbers in there. Let's say this one here, 00046. 12346. Just as a physical point of reference instead of just the color code. And then we have Omni, also looking pretty bleak, except that it has a bottom formation that's from the 19th of October up until now. So a break above this 00087 would be something good. 12387. Now we can check that numerically tomorrow or the next day we do the stream. Pascal coin was look at this, it's right along this trend line, and we had it as a buy signal earlier, and in the 3-month view the moving averages are just coming to touch each other. Let's zoom in and see what this is looking like, and actually it's looking pretty pessimistic. A break below this line here would be a sell signal. Maybe it's taken all it can now and it's ready to break. So just an alert on that one. This would be a profit taking. As soon as it broke below this, we would close that long position that we've had on there. And I was marking it as a potential for adding on. Now it's a potential for selling out as soon as we get a little tick lower on that. So I'll leave it as green, but let's see the exit level on the 3-day view. I would say 69.59 minus 1234 69.59, just to say that we would be getting out there, taking off that trade. PPC. This one is having an airdrop. If you have any PPC in your wallet, then you'll get some other thing as an airdrop. So it's holding its own probably for that matter. And as soon as that airdrop is done, this is going to go down. We're in a descending wedge triangle. If this was a buy signal to us, and was it? It was. And it was almost an add-on signal. If Bitcoin had gone up instead of down here and all the alts were starting to show some strength, this might have been an add-on signal out of this consolidation. But now it is a get out at 000176. So I'll put that as a minus 123706 as a get out signal there, and to close that position. Quantum was an alert for a buy, and I can't see it being a, well, it's still holding its own there, and it's holding its own to buy some historical levels. So it would be a buy, I would say, at 000561. 123.561. We'll mark that in there and see how that turns out. Now, rep was a surprise. It did some really great moves here, and we were marking in the chart maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, and it hit them all. Zoom into the 1 week view. It did really well, took right off. Is it going to hold up there now? Let's go into the 1 day view. It's still looking pretty good. And we have unbalanced volume here is looking good, where we had a volume as it took off, and we have greater volume now. So there's some more liquidations going by over on the side here. I just saw one. Didn't know if it was short or long. Probably a long being liquidated. So will this keep going? It may, but it would have given us a buy signal out of this formation as we were watching for it. Go back to the 1 week view, zoom in on this. We were watching for this as a buy, and this, I got to mark it in the chart as it's turned into a buy signal, even though it wasn't marked as an alert. So this is something we missed paying attention to. SBD was a buy a few days ago. Steam dollars. Yeah, Bitcoin down again, and it's down past critical levels. That was our descending wedge triangle where I was asking earlier, are you ready to go short? Are you ready? And we put it into our paper trade for Bitcoin, short at 43.69, and it's at 43.23 now, 43.300. So we're up $69 on that short trade. SBD. Still a buy. Bitcoin's going down, and this is a stable coin. It's supposed to be pegged to $1. And so if Bitcoin's going down, it makes sense that this is going up because it's supposed to be stable to the outside currency. This makes sense now that it would be a buy and is a good one to have bought into. And paying attention to those stable coins now is a little more sensible. Coin. Not looking good as a buy signal. Looking pretty weak now. So I'll extend that triangle there. Nothing to do in here. 3-month view, 1 year view. So it's down pretty much to historic lows. Although I remember buying into this at 20 Satoshi way back when. Way back when. Right in this area here. And look at what it did out of this area. It came down, made an enormous bowl shape, and it was at 4 Satoshi. It came up, and I bought in at about 20 Satoshi because it was taking off and doing this. And had to wait a little while. Couple of months actually, and then off it went and started to really go. Made some great profits from 4 Satoshi to 150. So there's still, what I'm saying is it's got a lot of room. It can still go down. It's been there before. So nothing doing here, although it is pretty much at these old historical rates here. I'll leave it neutral. SNT. Zoom in, and it bounced off these levels. It came down here. It bounced up pretty neat. But it's not looking good. It's not looking strong after that bounce. So we do have an entry level. If it breaks above the 541 Satoshi, that would be an entry level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 541. And we'll check that out later. Steam was not looking good. I can't wait. I'm dumping. It is a terrible, much more fun to be going short when it's breaking the formations than to try to dump now when it's already gone down and gone down and it's gone down. It's like buying in after something has taken off. It's like trying to buy into Factum now after it's already taken off and made a good run. It's probably the most scary time to be buying into it. So let's go back quickly to the Factum chart and look at this. This would be a scary time to be buying in. Same thing as Bitcoin dumping. This is a scary time to be selling because it's already made its move. It could go further. This one could go further. But once it's already started making the move, that's the scariest time. It's getting in on the setup of these patterns. It's easy to see it in hindsight, of course. But getting in on the setup of these patterns before the big move starts is what separates the good traders from the not so good traders. So getting in on the right side before the big move starts, that's where the money is made, and it doesn't take much time. Right? Only after all the time of waiting and watching and waiting and this was the only time really where lots of money was made or lost. So that waiting and watching, and then take the correct action at that before the move starts. After it's done a big move, I'm kind of paralyzed. I don't want to do anything because it's just the most uncertain time of the charts. Okay, nothing doing here. And it's down to 8,900 Satoshi. So my money over there on Steemit is worth less, and pretty soon it's worthless. But it's not a turnaround formation now. So we're watching for that bottom, watching for the turnaround at that bottom, and it probably will happen quickly. So nothing doing there. Storage, how are you doing? You're one of my favorite projects, and I know that in the long term this is going to make a killing. They've got a real good revenue plan and everything. This is actually a good project, and it's holding its own. So that's pretty good. I'll keep watching this one. It's holding its own. It's made a bottom and pulled up. We got our little pre-pump candle there. So what do we give it here? 4 zeros, 4,200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,200. 4,201, just so it keeps the right zeros there. STR. What's going on? Actually, looking pretty scary, depending on how you cut it. So it's hitting along these, where support was in the past, all the way along. It's a little bit below this triangle, but that is sort of subjective where that triangle line is drawn, because it's not off of 2 or 3 points. Really needs to be off a few different points before it turns into a nice solid. So we could go this way along these tops, and this way along these bottoms, and then draw back. I hate when the thing doesn't cancel out. Draw it back and extend this along. Come on now. That gives us more of a channel to be watching as this is going up. And of course, in the super long-term view like this, this triangle still stands out to me, and these tops also stand out to me. So all the way along here, we've got resistance, 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 but it's been doing pretty good at poking up past them, and it may be the time where it's going to be going on. Very hard to decide on this one, because it was really following Bitcoin very well. When Bitcoin was showing strength, this was showing strength, and then it's switched. So here we can see back here where Bitcoin went down, and so did it. Pretty much matched it with this inverted Bart Simpson formation. As Bitcoin came up, so did this. As Bitcoin was softening off, so did this. And then the shift changed the very beginning of November, where it started to go up and go up. It did react when Bitcoin first started its drop off here, and then it's regained its own footing. It is a top formation though, so a break below this level is a get out signal. So let's see, 4203. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4203. You got to make that into a negative. And other than that, it's still a hold, but get out at minus 4203 just because of that formation. Strat. 3-month view. Zoom out. So it is, well, no, it's not. It's down below these levels from August, September, October. It's made its own new lows here, so we have to reevaluate this as its own new bottom formation, and it's giving us lower lows and no higher highs. It's not giving us a break of this downtrend line yet, this new downtrend line that we have. So it's no go here. There's nothing building up on this one. If it did a turnaround, it would have to go above this 00020 for a buy signal. 123.2001. Syscoin, I don't imagine you're showing any happiness. No, nothing going on here that we can do. It's broken to new lows, hasn't given us the break of the trend line yet, even on the short time frame, so nothing going on there. Via coin, I doubt it. Yeah, nothing going on here. It's broken to new lows, so it's a whole new bottom formation. It has to mature and show a whole new turnaround down there. So nothing going on there. Then we have VTC and then counterparty. VTC, well, it's made its own new bottom here, and it's given a range where a break above these levels after consolidation would be not too bad. So the 4 zeros, 83.97. 83.97. And then counterparty. Counterparty was X. Counterparty. Wow, it's actually bounced off this bottom and showing a little bit of strength, opposite to Bitcoin, exactly opposite. And initially it followed along exactly with Bitcoin, consolidated with Bitcoin, and then it's diverged completely. So if you had purchased into this, you'd have more Bitcoin in this short time frame thing, but not a buy signal officially until it goes above the 00061. There is a short being liquidated now. 00061. 123.6101. Just add that extra digit in there. XEM, what's going on? There we go. This was a buy signal earlier, and it's still holding on and going up. Another short liquidated over here. If there's going to be liquidations, I prefer it to be a short. We had it as an add-on, so this is one of the only ones out of all this stuff that turns into a dark green color. So this is the only market that's actually doing something opposite to everything else. So now we have two markets that are dark green as the add-ons. XMR. So far, we haven't looked at Ripple yet. XMR is still within these ranges. It's above these levels from, what is that, September? August. So it's above August levels. But as we were saying here, it's got to break above these support and resistance from the recent past now. So I'd say, 0.0163. Keep clicking the wrong thing. 0.0163 as our paper trading buy order, just to mark down a specific place. XPM, is it still a fail? It's actually making a bottom. My word. We've got such a straight line all the way along, and it's giving a little bit of, look at all these little buy candles that were not there all the way down. It was just steady selling like a robot. And now it's giving a little bit of a change there. Still nothing to do, but that's pretty cool to see. Any kind of change is important to notice. Ripple, you can see the parallel channels. We see that we had the buy signal earlier, and then we had an add-on signal in here. Was that right? No. We had the buy signal here on this crossover. Then we had the add-on signal in here, and that's all taken off well. And it does look like it's showing more strength as Bitcoin is softening off. So if I zoom into the 3-day view, zoom back a bit, exactly as Bitcoin is dropping off, this is pulling up at the same time. So as Bitcoin was showing a bit of strength here, this was failing. As Bitcoin is softening off, this is showing strength. So it's doing opposite to Bitcoin, which means that it's holding its own value. It's holding this value against the US dollar, where Bitcoin's dropping and this looks like it's rising, where it's rising against Bitcoin. But if we were to be charting its price against the US dollar, it would probably look pretty flat in this very one little moment here. But at any rate, we're watching it against Bitcoin, and it's looking like it's going to continue on the trend that it's started here. And if we go out to the 5-year view and take a long look at this, we've actually got a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here after this downtrend. This is an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And in the long trend sense, this is an uptrend. And I believe that Ripple is going to be going way, way higher just because of the technology and what it's going to be doing to the world finances. I think it will outstrip Bitcoin. It'll take over the #1 market cap because it's got a use case built into the current $1 trillion per day system. Bitcoin has always been just outside of that system and didn't find a way to work itself in without changing the system. And Ripple has. So we'll see this. I really believe it'll go from 50 cents to $5, from $5 to $50 over the next couple of years. So this stays marked as a dark green double add-on. So that's a very profitable trade in our paper trading here. Zcash, what's going on? So even though it was making a bit of a hesitation consolidation there, as Bitcoin dropped, it is cracking down. So now this gives us, as speculators, it gives us these downtrend lines that we can be watching. And this downtrend line will extend as far down as this goes. Let's go back to the 3-month view so we get a bit more. Actually, it's above the August and September, or September and October lows. It's still above those. So it's got some space to be able to move down without being in hot water. You can extend this down this far. And if it makes a consolidation within that and then breaks back above these levels, that would be pretty important. Nothing to trade on it now. I don't think there is a way to go short, certainly not on Poloniex anyway. Maybe over on Bitfinex. Yeah, too many of them start with B's. Then ZRX. It bounced off this level, support from here, and it bounced up a little bit. What's going on now? So it's bounced up, but like this line here, that would still be past the support and resistance level to show that it's turned around, different than this downtrend line, which it hasn't yet, not far enough. Maybe a little tick of it, but not far enough yet. It's going to have to break that trend line, moving average crossover, and break above that support and resistance for it to be a buy signal. And what's the number on that? 000102. 123 102 11. All right, so today we went through and got some numbers put into this, and this will occur more and more as I go along so that we are really paying attention to the formation and where on that formation there is significant time to take action. Some of them are negative so that we're in a trade that is already profitable, and it's making a top formation or a formation that's saying to get out pretty soon. It's breaking trend lines, making top formations. We'll see what's going on with those. I like this evolution in the report that we're doing here to add in an extra layer of detail. Dogecoin. This I like as well. So it is going up as Bitcoin's dropping. That's, even if it's holding its own, it's still going down in value. If it's holding its own and Bitcoin's going down, we're measuring this against Bitcoin. So it's holding its own where a lot of the other coins are going down and Bitcoin's going down. So they're going down against Bitcoin and Bitcoin's going down. So US dollar wise, they're getting really slashed big time. And one of the things about last year when we were having the altcoin prices going down, they were going down, 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 but Bitcoin was going up, up, up. And so the market cap value, the US dollar value of these coins was actually still rising, even though they were going flat here, because they were flat against Bitcoin and Bitcoin was going up, which means that their US dollar value was also going up. So even though I was holding trades that were going down against Bitcoin, my overall portfolio was going up in US dollar value. And a lot of, I remember guys on Twitter saying, don't measure your success of your account against US dollars, measure it against Bitcoin. So then you're trading against, if you're doing well against Bitcoin, then you're doing double well against the dollar at that time. And now it's turned around to be the opposite way. Bitcoin is dropping and the alts are also dropping. So they are going double whammy down against the US dollar, which is not so good if you're a bag holder. So I've got some that I'm holding, particularly my portfolio on Binance. And I just put $1,000, took $1,000, split it up amongst 20 different cryptocurrencies. So I put $50 into each because it was looking like the bull market was about to break out. We're going to see all these popcorn moves. I was all prepared for it. And then I didn't close those trades, and I didn't go short on Bitcoin or close those trades and put it into a stable coin while Bitcoin was making these terrible drops. So negative votes for my trading prowess there. Sorry, Kibo, but BTC is bouncing a bit. Bitfinex. US dollar. Let's go to BitMEX. We'll get Bitfinex in the background of this chart. Get rid of these indicators so we can really zoom in on it, and then go into the 1 minute chart so we can really zoom in on what's going on this very moment. And it's nothing to be trading, that's for sure. It's not giving any kind of reversal bottom formation. It could go up, you know, who knows. But it's not giving a reversal formation. Now we're at the 5 minute bars, and now we're back to support and resistance on this level where, say, this is 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago, 52 hours ago maybe, it made this huge drop off and it bounced up from there. So as a swing trader, you could approach this, especially if it comes down to this level a third time, then that is actually a high risk but legitimate entry point to try. Here, looking at the 5 minute bars, let's go to the 1 minute bars. And it really did come down to that very level and then bounced up off of it. While you were there, put your simple moving average 200, 128, and 50. MA. So let me 1, 2, 3. Then I'll blink out that one. Blink out the background. And format this one to 200. And let's make it thicker. This one to 128. We'll do blue color. Thicker. 128. And 50. We'll make this one orange and thicker. Okay, then let's clear out those lines on the chart and pull it back. Golden cross coming in mid-December. So let's look at the 3-day. So we could go to the 3-month view, zoom it back so we get some data. And 1, 2, here's a so this is a crossover, which would be negative. Then this is another crossover, This is another crossover of the super long term. The yellow is the shortest term, blue is middle, and purple is the longest term. So this one here would be the biggest death cross as the two long-term moving averages are crossing over. That's really long-term stuff. And then now that it's given us where those moving averages really were laying right on top of each other pretty much, we were seeing the death crosses occurring here where the two longer term moving averages were crossing over. That was telling us the trend is decidedly downward. And the short term, and of course the short term one crossed both of them here and did not come back above, stayed below, stayed below, stayed below, all the way along here. So now when we look at the daily chart, yeah, we'll need some change for this to turn into a positive crossover. Where did we get that? In 2015, it was right in the September of 2015. They were all crossing over. The short term crossed over, so we had the blue crossed over the purple, showing that things were picking up here. And then the yellow crossed over as things were taking off. And this is pretty much where I bought Bitcoin, where I actually took cash and bought Bitcoin on the September the 24th here. And then I sold, I got in about $250 and I sold out at $750 and I thought I was just a genius. Right up in this area I sold. I thought this is the top. I can't take it anymore. And it just blasted off after that. But I was also going to Brazil, and it was a good time to spend that money. I would do it again if I was in that same position. That trip was worth it. Now, it's going to take some time before these moving averages come back and cross over. We've got months of time, likely, to get these things to come back over. Even if it stays at these levels, it'll take that much time for those moving averages to catch up to each other and change direction. Some people look at the 3-day views for these death crosses. And this is the death cross they're all talking about right here. And when it crossed, things went to hell. It was the death cross, and it really, the timing of it was just about perfect. Just about perfect. So this, and I remember reading a guy's article about this too, where he was pointing this out. And sure enough, right there, down she went. So those long-term views really do make a big difference. And then if we zoom back in on this, we can see that they didn't cross over. These long-term view ones didn't cross over until after we had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on a large scale. So we saw two big capitulation lows here, and then things started to take off. Then it broke above the bottom formation here. Now I bought in on September the 24th on this run. So if we zoom in on that, we can see that I was using the springboard trading pattern. As it was coming out of this little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, that's where I bought in. And I didn't wait for the full larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to shape up and break. So when I bought in here and it came up and did this and pulled back, I was in such profit. I didn't even flinch on it, especially since it stayed above the support and resistance of the entire summer beforehand. Right here's January 2015, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Finally, things came up. So now we've just come down a big, long low just right now, and we're probably in for a long time of indecision, up and down, up and down, up and down, before Bitcoin takes off. And this was back in 2015, and I don't know what the alts did at the same time here. But I do know in May of 2015, I had about $500 worth of Bitcoin. By May of 2016, I had more than $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. I had 10 times my money in that year. And then May of 2017, I had more than $50,000. I had done more than 10 times my money in that huge run up from March to July. Really, all of the alts went up with Bitcoin here. Right until July, right here, this very date right there, everything came crashing down, and then Bitcoin started to go up and the alts went down, and the alts went down and down and down. And I was continually watching for the consolidation and the continuation of the uptrend like Bitcoin was doing, but they never did, all the way until December of 2017. Then we saw that 2 or 3 week run up, and it was right after Bitcoin hit its top. The new futures trading contracts were released right on the 14th of December, and we're looking at the 15th of December here as the very high. And with those futures trading contracts, they took major short positions, and then they sold every Bitcoin they have like a Dickens to actually push the market down, because they're making leveraged positions, leveraged profits off those short contracts, those futures contracts. So they made an enormous amount of money, more than just shorting Bitcoin, because you're shorting it on big leverage. Khan, if I get rich, I'll invite you South America so we can do coke and bang some chicks. That's across my stupid line, cocaine. I have enough trouble with lesser evils. So basically, we are going to have a long, slow, painful recovery now. This is going to take a long time. I'm thinking if the summer of 2015 is any indication, then we are in for a run up and then a pullback, and then a run up and a long, slow, and then a run up and a pullback. And it's going to take a long time. But that whole time, I'll continue watching all of the alts, and I'll continue doing the spreadsheet of it, because I really want to watch, just in case we have something like we saw last December, where things came down on the 14th of December, and then we had a huge run up. So got to stay forever vigilant as a trader. Yeah, I bet you have, after it's legal up there. It's nice to have marijuana be legalized in Canada. Now the stupidity of the war on drugs is actually becoming much more clear. There's so many millions of dollars spent to incarcerate people who were smoking weed. It was just a witch hunt, because it's not negative. It seems like my internet has stopped. The feed over here is stopped. My browser is not refreshing. I don't know if the stream is still going or not. Page unresponsive. So maybe it's my computer. No, I see the stream is still working over there. So sad as it is, let's go back to Poloniex and take a look at Dogecoin. Go, Doge, go. Let's run up a little bit higher, like to about 60 Satoshi. Just a quick run up to 65 would be awesome, because I did a margin trade with about 1.5 Bitcoin. And that would be very profitable if it went up that high. And how about this one? Are you going to go up for me as well? It's impossible to know. It's so on the edge here, but it's really looking like it's wanting to go up. Really looking like it wants to go up. So we got on the screen up here above us, it says 9 people still. The feed is still stuck at 9, but when I look over and who's watching, we've got 17 watching, which is not bad. We've had higher than that before, but I appreciate having 18 people in here watching this stream to see what's going on with the price of Bitcoin and the alts. As you can see, it is -2 degrees here. We're just outside of where I'm sitting. We've been streaming for an hour and a half now. We watched Bitcoin prices break down to retest the lows from 48 hours ago. And Ethereum, it's come down too. Let's go look at Ethereum, because this one was giving me some hope. It was giving me hope because it has stayed above the lows from September. So Bitcoin has made this massive crackdown. Where is it? Massive crackdown, where Ethereum, it's gone down, but it's held its own against Bitcoin. So it hasn't gone down that much. Thank you very much, Domino. I appreciate that you're following here. And this is my trading journal. So if I'm not being honest with my trading journal, I will never improve as a trader. I will never catch my own mistakes, and I'll never make the crazy money that I really want to out of this. The one thing that I'm chastising myself for is not being prepared for both sides of this triangle. I was looking at all the alts, and they were all making bottom formations from August, September, October. I thought that's our indication that the money is flowing into this market and Bitcoin is just lagging. It's just not catching up. But all these alts are showing the power is coming in, so Bitcoin will do it. It will go up. And I did not prepare. I did not prepare properly. And so if we go into GNT, and let me close, just hide it, hide it, hide it. That's something else. Oh, I brought that back up. Hide that. Erase this. This shows up over and over again now in hindsight. In all of the alts, we had this parallel channel shape up. It made the bottom formation. We got the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation inside this channel. It went up to the channel, and it was all looking according to the simple trading plan. It's a breakout of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Give me the right tool. It is a breakout of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The downtrend line was broken. The exponential moving averages have crossed over. It was giving us all of the buy signals. And then it all failed off. And it dropped out of this parallel channel line, made a 1, 2, 3 top formation, and dropped down. So all of them were doing that. And actually, just before Bitcoin broke, all of the alts were giving this signal. And I didn't catch it. And one of the things I should be doing is catching this when we're looking at every single altcoin over and over and over, day by day by day. When there's a pattern like this, I should be catching it. And so I'm thinking, how do I do that? How do I put multiple coins on one chart so that you can see this happening all at the same time in all of the coins? What I was watching for is the bottom formation in all of the coins. Right? If I go back to the spreadsheet and look at this chart, I guess it was right on this day when we had this switch where it went from all these green to a drop in the green and an increase in the red. And maybe on this day here, and I don't know, it's not marked on the thing which day this is, but here we had another uptake in the red and a drop down in the green. This is a mass warning. That's an average of all of the coins. That's a mass warning right there. And of hindsight, it's easy to see it. But I was watching for the other way. So now I'm using these parallel channels in a lot more of my analysis, so that I'm starting to see this, and I need your guys' help. Well, you're on this all the time. Oh, no, you didn't mess up my charts at all. I appreciate that. I love it. I need your guys' help all the time. Snorkel Puss, great to see you here, Corey. I love it. We're getting quite a few more of our Discord chat is getting more active. We've got a couple mods on. We've only got a few lifetimers. Normally there's 10 or 12 lifetimers. Then we have people who have purchased the book. They are upgraded to a trader status. And then we have people who have joined us and communicated and did something in the channel, and they're updated to a community member. And a whole whack of people who are You can see the traders and the community members that are offline right now. We got a pretty good show up here, and I'm certain it'll be a lot more fun when the markets are actually moving. This is demoralizing, and who wants to go and sit and look at your trading portfolio when it's down? But it's actually important, really important. Let me go to, have you guys heard of Blocks? Blox.io? Bloix.io. This is where I put my Binance portfolio that I purchased in on October the 26th, because all these bottom formations were looking great. We were having these breakouts, the moving averages were crossing over. All of those trading signals were there, and I didn't close these positions, and it's come down significantly in value. This says 49%, but I put in 0.15 Bitcoin, so it's come down 30 odd percent maybe since I put the money in, because it was 0.15 Bitcoin at the time. Now it's 0.11. No effort required. It just went all down by itself. And then what I'm doing is on the website IntroToCryptos.ca, I've upgraded the website so that it pulls in the data from CoinMarketCap. And so it has all of the coins in here. I don't know, 1,500 of them or so. And so now I'm going to go through my portfolio, and I'm going to do an update on every single one of these coins and update the website so that it has Nucleus Vision. I think I did an update on already. So let's go and, is it NEU? NUC. Nucleus Vision, Ncash. Oh, okay. So put your email in for some free training for cryptocurrency traders. Join us on our Discord channel. And I've updated this so that it has some details from the YouTube and more details about what the project is actually all about. So this is a very personalized way for the retailers to know something about their customers. When you watch this, it's kind of spooky, and I'm not sure if a lot of people are really ready for for yourself to be that well known. But then again, you live in a small town, everybody knows everything about you. And when you walk into a store, you probably went to school with the person who's working in the store there now. So everybody, this is the kind of familiarity that your store owners would have with you. And I'm going to go through with all of these coins that I have in my portfolio and update the research about the project here on the website, so that this is a really good resource for everybody else as well. If you're thinking, well, maybe I should put some into this, let me check the chart pattern, let me check about the project itself, and then you can decide if you're going to be buying into it. Certainly buying into it on October the 26th wasn't the best time to buy into it. It was looking like the best time, but then I did not use rule number 1 and close that position when it was showing me a little bit of a loss in all of these. So now this whole $1,000, I'll keep holding it, and I'll see what goes on over the next 6 months to a year in this. "24-hour volume." Oh, I see. So if you haven't checked out Blocks, Bloxio, it's got a coin here, Blocks coin, which is, doesn't show the details. So you can see more about the price of the chart. You can see the daily profit loss on it. You can see how many changes support it, 20% of all of the different exchanges, its global rank and how it does, Where are people holding this stuff? 41% of the coin is held on an exchange. 58% is in their wallets. There's HitBTC, Binance, Gate.io. And then you can also see other coins and get to know some great detail in this. They've done some great research and put together tons of information set up in a way that it's easy to know more about where's people holding this. It doesn't show much of anything. Great if you, and this is going to have a revenue stream. They've got a token, which is what I was trying to show is their token and the value of it. So the blocks token is CDT, ranked number 347, CDT. And I think it's going to be a good token to hold because everybody's going to be using this free program to manage their crypto portfolios. And then they're going to have things like tax reporting available for a small fee. And so because they've got a great product and it's going to have a good revenue stream, this coin is got future potential. Anything that's going to have a revenue stream attached to it properly, then the coin has got potential. That's why I like Storage and Siacoin, because they've got a massive revenue stream when they do get flowing well. GNT as well, Gollum Network Token. I think this will have a massive revenue stream when it gets going. All right. Do you know if you can switch to night mode on coinsignals.trade? I did buy that one, Crypto Kibo. I do have $50 worth of it. Coinsignals.trade. I like that site too. It pulls in the data from CoinMarketCap. And so CoinMarketCap is an average of all of the different exchanges. So if you're looking at MadeSafe coin on this, it'll look different than what it's just on Poloniex. This is Ethereum. So averaging out against all the different exchanges, it's still holding above the September the 12th low for now. But like I was saying, if it breaks down below that, she's going down. It'll drop in half from where it is now, almost. And that's awful if you were buying in at this breakout here or in this area here where it's a 1, 2, 3 top formation, moving averages crossing over, hello, sell, sell, sell. Down it went. Easy to say, harder to do. Down it went, and that's already down more than half. It's down 2/3 from that time, and it still could drop another half from where it is now. Manic. And if look at from where it was here, 0.15, now it's double. It's just crazy how much of a loss that is. And I don't know if it has night mode. It doesn't look like it. Although you can, there is gears here, so there must be ways to change the background, change the style. So you can change the watermark in there so that it's different colors. I am in night mode. There you go. It has night mode. Default. You can save chart layouts. I like the darker background in the charts as well. So crazy day as we're watching all of these charts. Let's go back to where I'm familiar. How's Dogecoin? 55, pushing against 56. No, it's 54 pushing against 55. And that about wraps it up here. We're up to an hour and 45 minutes, an hour and 47 minutes. Gone over everything, updated our spreadsheet, and added some more detail into the spreadsheet in the terms of numbers in there that we can actually go and look at. So when we're watching this tomorrow, we'll be able to say, this is the number we were watching for as an alert. And we'll continue to add these numbers in as we go along and see what actually happens. And we'll start a whole new chart, a whole new long-term chart, because everything has been reset now that we've come down to these lows. And I need to figure out how am I going to categorize them now. So one category would be those who are starting a brand new number 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. A category of those that are within the old 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, like Ethereum. And then watch for the moment that more of those are breaking, so we can call them broken and reset and about to break, and start to see what's going on still day by day, watching to see what's going on. And how did our Bitcoin short go? Didn't last very long. We said a paper trade short at 43.69, and now it's 43.62. So I think probably what I did right away, Con, is I went up into that gear in the top right, and I went to the background, and I got rid of this terrible white. You know, I just don't like it. Blue, oh, that's even worse. Maybe there's a soft blue. How's this for a background? Hurts my eyes. So I like the black. Hopefully that helps. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, guys. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up on this. And let's hope that we find a bottom here and things can turn around, because then all of the alts will start taking off. That would be nice. Cheers for now. Have a good evening. Do something nice for somebody close to you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.